Guys, welcome into Talking SEC. We got a lot of action going on and two big time games taking place right now. Let's do it. Guys, welcome into Talking SEC. Once again, this is week 6, and we are live. Welcome in. The chat line is open here, and we got a halftime score here in the LSU Kentucky game. Kentucky is up 14-0. But the story of the night is how bad Alabama is struggling right now in College Station. That game early in the second quarter, Alabama's down 17-7. So, gonna be interested to see. Looks like Alabama has the ball back on their 27-yard line. We're in a TV timeout, so we're gonna be heavy in that ball game as this Kentucky LSU game is at the half. So we can spend a lot of time talking about that particular game. Hey, Jet, how's it going? Glad to have you in once again. So I thought Kentucky would make it an uglier game. Oh, no. This is what Kentucky is as a team. They're going to look to, once they get a lead, they're going to take the air out of the ball, kind of like what you saw last week with Georgia. They know that this LSU team cannot score right now. So no need to put yourself in harm's way by putting the ball in the air. I expect to see in the second half a lot of runs between Smoke and the leading rusher in the SEC, Chris Rodriguez. Hey, Larry, welcome in. Here's what I'm seeing with LSU. Offensive line struggles, wide receivers that are not separating. I looked at a couple of those deep shots. Wide receivers could not even separate it. And what Kentucky is doing, they're playing too high safety. So even the corner of the field you're trying to throw to, there's a safety always over the top. So I think that's struggling, causing Max to struggle. And I will say this because I have been on record since last season. Ed Orgeron is no longer coaching for his job at LSU. Okay? Ed Orgeron is no longer coaching for his job at LSU. Why? Because that ship has already sailed. LSU has already moved on from LSU unofficially. Through back channels, I can tell you that they have already started their search committee for who would be the next head coach of the Louisiana State Tigers. And furthermore, it is in doubt if Ed will get to coach out the remaining part of this season. So that's something to keep an eye on. Guys, we got a lot of earlier action, and this is the one and only time I'm probably going to mention this score. Florida beat Vanderbilt 42-0. And despite winning 42-0, that Florida offense did not look impressive to me whatsoever in this contest. I know Emory Jones went 14 for 22, 273 yards and 4 touchdowns. Don't think it was a good performance whatsoever. I thought it was a very workmanlike game. Jet, I'm gonna put that up here in just a second. Let me run through the rest of the action here from earlier on, guys. I got to speak on this Tennessee team because I honestly, coming into the season, thought that this team would finish 6th in the SEC East. Tennessee right now is positioning themselves to finish fourth in the SEC East, which coming into this season with the scholarship reductions, I got to give Josh Heupel a lot of credit, which I did not think I would be doing this year. But another blowout win against South Carolina. Guys, that score was 45-20. Hendon Hooker, 17 for 23, 225 yards, 3 touchdowns. But Tyron Evans, the talented running back for Tennessee, continues to do a yeoman's-like job there for the Volunteers. 16 carries, 119 yards, 1 touchdown on the ground. I got to say, I am really pleasantly surprised with this Kentucky team. Now, look at who they beat, but then again, beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. And that's what Josh Heupel's doing right now. Going to get a step up in competition next week as Ole Miss comes to Knoxville. But you got to give them a lot of credit because this team was left for dead. And I'm really impressed with a lot of things that I'm seeing from this team. I'm going to put your comment up, and I'm going to go ahead and go to it right now because Ole Miss wins 52-51. That game was probably one of the hardest games for me to watch as an analyst. Arkansas goes for a 2-point conversion at the end of the game, fails to convert. Ole Miss gets away with the win. Ole Miss will probably now finish second in the SEC West, but just a horrible game as far as an analyst goes. Georgia, 34, Auburn, 10. Guys, I'm going to spend some time later on in the show because I got you for the next let's say the next 112 minutes or so. Really disappointed, not in the performance of Bo Nix, because you're going to see Bo Nix's numbers and think he played horribly. There were so many drop passes by running backs and wide receivers in that game for Auburn. It was a miracle that this game was still this close. Just a horrible job there by the running backs, wide receivers. And I'm going to throw Brian Harsin in there as well. Just a horrible job. Absolutely. Now, they didn't just make the change. They were forced into that when Miller went down a couple of weeks ago with that injury and Hooker had to come for him. So it wasn't that they just made the decision. Now, credit Heupel and his staff for not going back to Milton. This is Hendon Hooker's team. I thought Hooker should have been the starting quarterback all along just because of what I saw him do at Virginia Tech. Thought he was going to be a much better passer than what we saw from Milton up there at Michigan. So this is what you want your coaches to do is they see that the right guy is on the bench, the starter's not performing. Hey, you make the switch. Okay, live look in right now. We got about 8.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Alabama's at midfield. That score is 17-7. Alabama is on the move. And Bryce Young just overthrew Jameson Williams there, had him wide open for a touchdown. So Alabama's 3rd and 5, like I said, about 8 minutes. So we're about halfway through the second quarter here. And had him, that's a walk-in touchdown for Williamson with that speed. So Bryce is really has not been as sharp as he needs to be. Zach Calzada, on the other hand, is hotter than Texas chili right now. 10 for 10, 123 yards, 2 passing touchdowns. Certainly outplaying Bryce right now. And Bryce just gets sacked. So Alabama will be punting. Who was that? Hansford and Johnson there on the sack. So Give Texas A&M all the credit so far. They are absolutely outplaying Alabama in this contest. This is going to be a big possession here for Texas A&M. I mean, big possession here. They're going to probably get the ball back buried deep, assuming Alabama can get a much better punt off this time. The first punt went only 7 yards. Still a great punt. That ball is going to be somewhere around the 25, 26-yard line. We got a little over 7 minutes left to go in the first half. Alabama is struggling, and I mean struggling bad in this contest. So, guys, the chats are wide open. Whatever you guys want to talk about, while we kind of see how this Alabama Texas A&M game goes into the halftime, and like I said, Kentucky and LSU are already at the half, and LSU, if they haven't already quit on the season, they're getting darn close to it, because this team has come out with absolutely no fire whatsoever. And talking with a lot of LSU fans earlier in the week, they kind of thought that this kind of performance would be coming. Just a lack of leadership from the head coach, lack of leadership on the field. And honestly, this is where you expect your seniors to take over, your upperclassmen to take over and really lead this team. You're not seeing that whatsoever with LSU right now. I mean, honestly, it's getting to the point where it's hard to watch. Jet, excellent point there. As a matter of fact, let's see if I can pull up the. I was trying to pull up the box score in this ball game, so bear with me, and I'll get those rushing numbers here in just a second. Okay, so in the first half, wow. Jet, when you say that defense is getting pushed around a lot, listen to these numbers. Kentucky, 18 rushes, 118 yards. That is 6.6 yards per carry. Will Levis is not turning the ball over. 9 for 12, 84 yards. Guys, this is what I call on our podcast, and let me punch that up here, guys, because okay, so on our podcast, the Crunch Time Sports Advantage Network, and you can follow us on Twitter, Crunch Time VIP. You can follow the show at Voice of College Football, and of course, Mark Rogers as well at Mark Rogers TV on Twitter. This is what I call in the second half NyQuil drives. And what is a NyQuil drive? 9 or more plays, taking up 6, 7, 8 minutes off the clock. You're going to see that a lot here in the second half in this Kentucky LSU game. Yes, Jeff, it is on iTunes. Thank you for asking. It is just look for Crunch Time Sports Advantage. You'll see our logo as well. I'll briefly pop up the logo here on the banner just so you can kind of see what it looks like. And this was a game that we broke down on the podcast, talking about just how much LSU was going to have left in the tank for this season, because honestly, I wasn't sure if we were going to get 4 quarters out of this team. And okay, let me flip back over because I was actually checking out another ball game there. So, Jeff, thank you so much. Really appreciate you always joining us here. So, really appreciate it, guys. Please, if you know any SEC fans, love for you to get them over here to the YouTube channel because we are talking SEC football and we do it because of your passion for the SEC. So I can't thank you all enough for your participation. Okay. All right. Was just checking out something here and that didn't add up to me. So I'm gonna go back and redo that here in just a second. So Georgia, Stetson Bennett, got to talk about this quarterback because of all the criticism that he got last year from Georgia fans. Stetson Bennett wasn't the reason that the University of Georgia lost last year to Alabama in Tuscaloosa and losing to Florida in the cocktail party. It was because of that defense was leaking holes all over the place. So Stetson Bennett in this ball game, another A-plus performance, 14 for 21, 231 yards, 2 touchdowns. Really impressed with the job of Stetson Bennett. And just for a college football fan, uh, as much criticism as this kid got, to see him performing well, it's fantastic. Okay, so Alabama's back into the red zone where they have struggled. It is 2nd and 5 on the 11-yard line. Big possession for Alabama here as they go into the half, looking to put a score on the board. Bryce behind Jaleel Billingsley there, 3rd and 5. So I'm sorry, 3rd and 6. And you got to think, if you were worried about the Texas A&M offense being able to keep up that pace, might you go for it on 4th down if you don't get it here on 3rd down? I think the way I was trained is you always take points in the first half. So if Alabama doesn't get this, I would be surprised if they don't kick the field goal here. Oh boy, Texas A&M brought the house, and it was not blocked up well whatsoever. Bryce Young sacked. Okay, so decision made. Alabama's going to kick the field goal. JT Daniels is better. No. Jet, this team, Georgia, is good enough to win the SEC East and get to the SEC championship game. You're going to need a healthy JT Daniels if you're going to win the SEC championship and go on and win a national championship. Stetson Bennett is if you watch the NFL, Stetson Bennett is a Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's going to be solid, but his play alone is not going to take you over the top. And Auburn had a lot of busted coverages in this ball game. So I don't think that yes, no. The second part of your question, absolutely. Stetson Bennett is much better this year. He's playing with a lot of confidence. He's letting the ball rip down the field. You saw a couple of deep post post passes in this contest against Auburn. And honestly, this Georgia team is not going to be tested during the regular. I know Kentucky right now sits at 5-0. Will definitely probably go to 6-0 after this game tonight. But this Kentucky team is not good enough in all three phases to handle a team like Georgia. So I'm going to be interested to see, does Georgia continue to develop their passing game regardless of which quarterback is in the contest and get ready for that ultimate showdown with Alabama? Now, I just talked about this being the drive before where they got the interception, and thank you, Jeff, for putting that up. This drive is absolutely critical for Texas A&M. You give the ball back to Alabama with some momentum, watch out. This thing could get sideways really quickly. So Zach Calzada must take care of the ball here on this possession. So let's get it. Ball on the 25-yard line. And what does Texas A&M do? They start off with a run, and Alabama is absolutely there for at least a 3-yard loss. And they're just showing the graphic on the screen that Nick Saban is 24-0 versus all of his former assistants, including Jimbo Fisher, 0-4. One of those losses coming in a kickoff classic a few years ago when Jimbo Fisher was still the head coach of Florida State. And, of course, 0-3 coming into tonight's ball game against Nick Saban in Alabama. Okay, guys, we're also back from the halftime break with Kentucky and LSU. Let me see if I can write down that stat real quickly because, like I said, I want to see how many rush attempts does Kentucky have. I think it was 18 in the first half. So want to see how many they finished the ball game. All right. Texas A&M 2nd and 12. And they just hit over the top. Christian Harris is absolutely horrible in coverage down the field. And they just got him matched up on a wide receiver, I believe. That is not a matchup that okay. And it's a wheel route. It's a wheel route. And if you get Christian Harris in a wheel route, he's going to lose that every single time. He does not have that kind of foot speed. He is a box linebacker, and little throwback pass there. Texas A&M is down to the Alabama 31-yard line. So Texas A&M now looking to put points on the board now. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Derek Dooley was on the staff there, I think with Nick in LSU. So, yeah, we absolutely had Kentucky finishing second in our preseason look ahead for the SEC in the SEC East. Thought that they would absolutely beat Florida. I did not trust Dan Mullen, did not trust the Florida Gators coming into the season. And because of their crossover game with Alabama, thought that would definitely set the Gators back. This is a big-time drive here for Texas A&M here. And guys, Kentucky is just absolutely laying the wood. They're already first and goal at the LSU 6. Will Levis with a 33-yard run. Uh, man, you can shut LSU down at this point. This team has no fight left whatsoever. I mean, they're pretty much like their head coach. I mean, just absolutely have quit. Alabama trying to force a field goal attempt here. Nope, they give up a first down. If Kentucky scores here, then you can book it. Texas A&M inside the red zone, 1st and 10 at the Alabama 16. Jet, I'll get to that in just a second. Zach Calzada is absolutely outplaying Bryce Young in this ball game. I mean, there's no question about it. This Alabama team is getting manhandled. Touchdown. Texas A&M point after attempt pending, but right now they're up 23-10 on Alabama, and they are the more physical team in this matchup. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Heck yeah, give him the touchdown. I don't care if it is close. Brian Branch just got trucked. No, give him the touchdown. No, give him the touchdown. This has just been this has just been an absolutely horrible performance by the University of Alabama. Give him the touchdown. His knee's not on the ground. His elbow's not touching. That ball breaks the plane. Touchdown. Why are we even reviewing that? Let's go. All right. Kentucky just goes in for looks like another touchdown. Guys, this score is now 20-0. We got a review on that as well. Waiting on the official to either put his hand. Okay, we do have a touchdown. Jet, what's the score in that ball game now? Let's see. 20. Okay, let's go ahead and give it 24-14. Long way to go in this ball game. Long way to go in the ball game. But gotta tell you, could Jimbo Fisher make me eat my words this week? Man, if he does. I mean, just absolutely boat racing LSU. I mean, boat racing them. Man, this team has no fight left. I mean, as somebody once said, where's your pride, man? I'm talking about LSU. Where is your pride? I mean, you talk about playing for the boot, and that's the state of Louisiana, and representing every square inch of that state. Man, this is not how you do it. This is not how you do it. I just want to see on that drive how many runs did Kentucky have in that one drive. I know Will Levis had the big run there, but okay, so we're looking at a 7-play drive. They threw one pass, and everything else was runs. 75 yards, and all but 4 of them came on the ground. LSU, I mean, guys, ladies, Man, if you are an LSU fan, whatever your honey to do list is for the rest of the season, uh, go ahead and start on it. I mean, go ahead and start on it. There is no reason to watch LSU the rest of this season after what I'm seeing right now. Wow. Jet, if I can pull up your comment once again from earlier. Is it not going to let me pull it up? Okay. Oh, here we go. Here. So, could Urban Meyer potentially be um, let go by the Jacksonville Jaguars of the NFL? Based on everything that I'm hearing right now, that answer would be no. But it's going to be very interesting to see how the rest of this season goes, and especially the next couple of weeks. Kroger Field is absolutely on fire right now. Hey, Memphis Rebel. I don't know if he gets fired after this game, but I'm not saying that you're wrong either. Alabama's on the move, and they're trying to get some points in before the half, and they absolutely need to get something going here. Alabama's dropped a lot of passes in this ball game. They just look out of sorts. Another drop pass. Billingsley drops a pass. I mean, okay, that's going to be targeting. I believe they're going to call Richardson for targeting. Like every college football fan, I hope that they just this. Man, if you throw the guy out, look, there's the letter of the law in the spirit of this rule. So I'm going to spend just a couple of minutes on this. This rule it was intended to get guys to stop leading with the crown of their helmets, as you can see me leaning down. We've gotten a lot of those old school coaches out of the game, and these kids have been taught how to tackle better. Oh, man, if they throw, I get it. He leads with the crown of his head. I get it. Richardson's probably going to be ejected, guys. I hate the ejection part of it. I mean, 15-yard penalty, and if he gets another one, you eject him after that. But during the offseason, they gotta look at this rule. He didn't leave his feet. Yeah, the crown of his helmet was. Good. Okay. Good. They overturned it. As a college football fan, yeah. Memphis, thank you. Exactly. That's how I want to see the rule. Like you see with the flagrant foul. Now, if it's malicious, then you eject them. But and Roman and Jet, let me put your comments up there here in just a second. And Roman played the safety position when you could do this. So, okay, big play here, guys. 4th and 4, Alabama's out of field goal position, so they're going for it. I mean, this is absolutely huge. And guys, LSU is inside the red zone here. Looking to try to put some points on the board. Alabama false start. Nick sending in the punt team, and you can see he is on fire. Chris Owens has no business playing right tackle. I mean, oh yeah, Roman was an absolute missile. And good friend of mine. Roman is a great guy. Love seeing him on the SEC network. But Chris Owens playing right tackle is a disaster. Chris Owens is a center and should be playing that position. Chris Owens should not be playing right tackle. Hell, get one of the kids ready and let's go. All right, so unless Alabama does something really stupid on defense, they should go into the half down by 14 points. In a game that favored by 18 points. So this is not looking good for Alabama here. Oh yeah, now I love Marcus Spears and glad to see what's going on for him. Absolutely, but no, Roman was a perfect choice. Roman was perfect. Right now, LSU is second and goal from the Kentucky 10. We're in a timeout. We got about 7 minutes to go. So, I talked about how quickly this game would move in the second half. You may only see another five possessions in this ball game. Now, I know the SEC network wouldn't do it, but I'll be okay if they find a replacement for Tim Tebow. Just saying. Just saying. All right, so we got a minute and okay, so looks like Texas A&M is going to do the smart thing and run out the clock, go into the half with a 14-point lead, and you take all the momentum in with you. Your team's on fire, playing really well in the first half. Want to see if they can hold that. But Jet, you said you might be smelling an upset. We're gonna see how this Alabama team comes out in the second half because I think it's going to be critical for them to get something going very quickly. We got third and goal for LSU. And if they have any fight left whatsoever, okay, so yeah, third and goal at the 2-yard line. Let's see if they can run this thing in. Because if you can't run it in from the 1, I mean, stuffed. Picked up half a yard. You got to go for it. I mean, you got to go for it. And you don't have a job, so you ain't got to worry about getting fired. You literally don't have a job. So what do you have to lose by going for it? Absolutely nothing. They're in shotgun because they can't line up and run the ball, so they got to run some kind of sweep, and they finally get in. Guys, it took 2.5 quarters for LSU to put a single point on the board, and they had to struggle to get it in. My goodness. Wow. New score, point after pending, but we should be 21-7. Yeah, I have the sound down, so I didn't hear it, so I'll have to catch that on the replay. But I can probably guess at some of the language that Coach Saban used. Um, and I can tell you, you would not want to be a player in that locker room right now. Would not want to be an Alabama player right now. No, there ain't nothing good coming out of that locker room. So, guys, for everybody that's in the chat right now, any games you want to talk about? We got the Alabama game at the half. That extra point by LSU was good. So, new score with about 6.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter, and Kentucky is up comfortably 21-7 now. Yeah, very good point there. And just understanding Coach Saban's mentality there, um, what he's going to say in the locker room is, we're lucky to only be down by 14 in this ball game. Now, after some very colorful language, he's going to tell us, look, we're down 14. We could easily be down 24 points in this ball game. So, not sure. Hey, Lucas, welcome in. Coach O might be gone before the clock strikes 12. Like I said, and I'm trying to remember who had that comment earlier, but not to say that Coach O will be fired at the end of the game, but I'm not saying that you're wrong. Not saying that you're wrong. So, yeah. So, if I got any LSU fans in here, who do you think is going to replace Coach O and be the next head coach of LSU? I know there's a lot of names that are floating around, so would love to get your thoughts, love to get your comments, love to get your feedback on that. Because who is a big name coach that is available right now that LSU could go get? Because right now, Urban Meyer is not available. Nick Saban's not leaving Alabama. Dabo Swinney's not leaving Clemson. Ryan Day's not leaving Ohio State. Jet, you know what? Let me see if I can pull up that game, because I got to tell you guys, as a handicapper and someone who has a show that bets on these games, I got to be honest, guys, full disclosure, I gave up on that Oklahoma-Texas game when Texas was up huge in that ball game, because Jet asked the question. I believe that score was somewhere around at the half 38-21. And Spencer Rattler was pulled for Caleb Williams, and came back and beat Texas in that ball game. Now we can include these two teams because they are going to be future SEC teams. So we'll stretch the rules here just a little bit. I would be shocked. Uh, okay, let me say this. I would be surprised if Caleb Williams is not the starting quarterback next week. That's just my take. Guys, Kentucky's just absolutely lining up and just running the ball down LSU's throat. I mean, just Kentucky's already across midfield and they are at the LSU 41. I thought they literally would just run the clock out at this point. But I think with LSU scoring on that last drive, um, Kentucky wanted to be a little bit aggressive and put this back out to a three-score lead, which is the right thing to do. Just pound it. Oh my goodness grief. Just pound it. Why is this LSU player, who is that, number 5? You talking crap and getting your butt beat on the scoreboard. This is the LSU program right now under Ed Orgeron. No discipline whatsoever. You are getting manhandled. Manhandled. You make a tackle 14 yards down the field and you want to get up and talk trash. So what does Kentucky do? They line up and run it again. If I'm Kentucky, I don't throw another pass in this ball game. Kentucky already, their season average is 189 yards per game. They're already at 230 yards. Now, you're absolutely right. It is all frustration, but it's frustration of your own doing. When you do not play with the kind of discipline, with the kind of physicalness that you knew that you were going to see against this Kentucky team. Kentucky was not going to throw the ball 55, 60 times in this ball game. They were going to run the ball. So LSU should have known that coming in. And the fact that they are getting manhandled like they have been all season long on that defensive front, it shows a lack of discipline. And Coach O is over there. He can't be saying go Tigers because them Tigers that got up and left, and they have no character left. I mean, just no character left. And now they're going to get a pass interference penalty for face guarding. Man, that is, guys, that is horrible. And Coach O's just sitting over there like a stuffed chicken. I mean, just sitting there like a stuffed chicken. First and goal. Kentucky at the 10-yard line. And they're just pounding it. Chris Rodriguez for 5 yards. Just absolutely pounded it. And don't worry, he's going to get to go home very, very, very soon. And he can do all the things that he's going to do when they fire him and have to pay him the remaining balance of his contract. Will Levis walks in touchdown. Mm. Going to take a beat on that one. But you know what? I think we've more than made up for that today. So, um, yeah, he is. You can see him on the sideline. He's mentally checked out. This dude has guys. I'll just say full disclosure. There's nothing complimentary I'm going to ever say about Ed Orgeron. Not a single word will I say anything encouraging about Ed Orgeron. I think the man is a buffoon, a clown, and has no. Whoa, hold on. We'll get to that in just a second there. I've been wondering if LSU or someone in the P5 might go after Deion Sanders. Um, I can tell you, knowing the decision makers for LSU, no. Um, LSU is not going to go down that path. Now, it'll be interesting. I don't think this year for Dion, but keep your eye on that USC job. That's all I'm gonna say. Just keep your eyes on that USC job. No, these ain't Papa's cats. These are these are some whole new cats, man. Whole new cats. I got to use that on the podcast. These are some whole new cats, and they're looking really good. I mean, they're looking really good. So, credit to Mark Stoops. Um, I think he should be SEC Coach of the Year. Hands down, I think the guy should be SEC Coach of the Year. Guys, we got another 5 minutes before Alabama and Texas A&M comes out of the second half. Um, the answer is no. No. I don't care how bad Alabama's looking in this ball game right now. Kentucky ain't on that level. No, sir. That's why I said, Jet, keep your eye on LSU. I'm sorry, USC. SC is going to want somebody with that kind of personality that can fit into Los Angeles, to where you're going to see like the old Laker days when you had all of the celebrities sitting courtside. That's what USC wants to be. Can you think of a more charismatic coach that they could get than Deion Sanders? Woo, man, I will tell you this as a fan, I would like it. Mm, gonna take another sting on that one. Okay, guys, as we get ready to get to the top of the hour here. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's see if LSU has any fight left in this ball game. Okay, picks up a first down. So we should have one more play and then go to the fourth quarter here. Okay, LSU just bust a long run. Looks like that's going to be coming back for holding. You thought that hold just got a little bit too big there. So, yeah. So, negate that long run there by LSU. And that should take us to the fourth quarter here. Oh, yeah. Lee just absolutely grabs the guy jersey and wouldn't let go. All right, guys, we're about 3 minutes away from the top of the hour. I'll reset here and run through all the earlier games here and give you an update on the two games left that are in play right now. And we do go to the fourth quarter. Kentucky up comfortably in this ball game, 28-7. Man, did you ever think you would see the day where Kentucky would be blowing out LSU? Times are changing in college football. I'm just checking out some scores from some other games going on right now because once I jump off of here with you guys, I gotta jump on with some guys who do a Pac-10 show. I mean Pac-12 show. All right, so let's go ahead and do the reset here. I know we got a couple of minutes, but let's go ahead and run through the rest of the action here. I'll get to that comment, and I would definitely post that up here in just a second. All right, so Missouri holds on to beat North Texas 48-35. Tyler Beatty rushes for a career high 217 yards, 3 touchdowns. Man, Missouri, you needed it. Tennessee absolutely getting it done against South Carolina, 45-20. Heaton Hooker, excellent performance, 17 for 23, 225 yards, 3 passing touchdowns. Talon Evans, 16 carries, 119 on the ground, and a rushing touchdowns. Jones Jr. also had 6 receptions, 103 yards, receiving touchdown. The Florida Gators beat Vandy 42-0. Congratulations. Ole Miss 52, Arkansas 51. Arkansas goes for a 2-point conversion at the end of the game instead of going into overtime. They miss it. Good night, drive home safely. Georgia in a very workmanlike performance against Auburn there on the Plains, 34-10. Excellent job once again by Stetson Bennett. 14 for 21, 231 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Zamir White, 18 carries, 79 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. At the end of the third quarter, Kentucky 28, LSU 7. And in the shocker of the night so far, Texas A&M up by 14. That score 24-10, just getting underway in the third quarter. And yeah, they are exercising some demons there. Alabama, big run by Brian Robinson, getting that ball all the way up to midfield. Alabama on the move and need to come away with this drive with a touchdown and see if this Alabama defense has finally woken up yet. Because if Alabama's going to win this game, they're going to have to get over the 30-point mark, and they're going to have to get there in a hurry. Bryant Robinson, 1 yard gain on first down. And this Texas A&M team is playing with a lot of confidence right now. And as very well it should be. They're at home and they're up by 2 touchdowns. So very critical point in the ball game right here. Bryce Young just has no time to throw the ball right now. And Texas A&M and Mike Elko's doing a fantastic job. He's sending guys because he doesn't think that this Alabama offensive line can hold up. And thus far, they haven't been. Bryce, you got to take off and run, son. He's unwilling to run. You just hit on something. A way to slow down an aggressive defense like that. Definitely some counter and throwback plays. Right now, Alabama needs to start going max protection. And there you go, little swing route to Williams, picks up about 9 yards, but that's coming back. It looks like a holding. Oh, who's that for Texas A&M? Number 8. Don't have the players listed in front of me right now, but yeah, holding on to Alabama. John Mechie. Because he didn't get himself in position, he had to hold there. Wish I knew who number 8 was because they haven't flashed up on the screen here. But it looks like that player's sitting up. So thankfully, it doesn't look to be too severe. And LSU is at the Kentucky 43, 3rd and 8. We're already 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. You got to think that this is 4-down territory for LSU at this point. All right. So it'll be Alabama 2nd and 20 once we get back from the injury timeout. You're right, Jet. Looks like Slade Bowden was also out there blocking another guy. So looks like they just had an extra defensive player in that field. But you got to get your hands. You got to get your hands in position, and it starts with having proper foot placement. And flipping back over to this LSU Kentucky game, Max Johnson has absolutely been beaten like a rag doll in this ball game. Kentucky's defense, 3 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, and a forced fumble. Man, I told y'all this Kentucky defense was nasty. Oh, Kentucky's got the ball back. Looks like it was a turnover on downs, and my computer didn't refresh. So you got to wonder why Kentucky's even throwing the ball at this point. I mean, I would literally just be running out the clock at this point. Go ahead and give LSU some NyQuil. Kentucky's already at the LSU 40-yard line. Another big gaping run, 15, 16, 17-yard run. Wow. And if you guys haven't seen this Kentucky offensive line, it's one of the best in college football. Smoke there for 15 yards. This ball is already at the 25-yard line. And Kentucky's just trying to run the clock out, but LSU's not putting up much of an effort. You know what? Great question. I did not address. Wow, walk in another touchdown for Kentucky. This is getting embarrassing now. Okay, absolutely embarrassing at this point. Um, guys, Kentucky's up 35 to 7. I mean, this game is absolutely over. Alabama's got 3rd and 17 at their at Texas A&M's 42-yard line. Another blitz call. Alabama doesn't pick it up. You keep just blitzing it. You keep blitzing it. Okay, so to answer your question, I absolutely do not agree with Sam Pittman and going for two in that situation. You go to overtime, you give your team a chance to win it in overtime because all you need in overtime is a stop of some kind. But considering how bad both teams played on the defensive side, he figured we should win it or lose it. And they did lose it. And honestly, they should have lost it. This was the perfect game that no team should have won. You want to know how bad the defense was in this ball game? If you thought the Oklahoma Texas game was bad on the defensive side, in the fourth quarter, these two teams combined for 6 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, 41 points. Man, the over-under, I think, was at 60. They almost got that in the fourth quarter. Both of these teams just an absolutely horrible job. I mean, there is nothing good to take away from that whatsoever. Yeah, so no, I don't agree with that whatsoever. And I get it, Sam Pittman, I get it, man, but boy, that was a dumb call. And Jet, your upset may be on to something, man. I don't know if Alabama can win this game right now. There's nothing that I've seen from this Alabama offense that they haven't made any adjustments. Why haven't they gone to? And Jed, I'll put up your question. What Alabama should be doing is they should have an extra tight end staying in the block, but they're trying to get so many guys out in pass routes that A&M is just overloading them and just blitzing it. Alabama with a nice stop there, but big news here: Spiller just grabbed his hip, and he's not getting up yet. I don't know if he got twisted awkwardly or what, but I saw that young man immediately grab his hip. Did not like that. Oh yeah, it looks like he was stretched out. This could be a big loss for Texas A&M if he's not able to play the rest of the game. But no, you're right, Jet. Alabama hasn't made any adjustments, and coming from a Doug Marone is their offensive line coach. Spent a lot of years in the NFL, and the fact that he, along with Coach O'Brien, the offensive coordinator, okay, Spiller is up jogging off the field, so that's good news for him. Yeah, it looks like he just got stretched there on the tackle. Um, that's a scary injury though. So Alabama's just done a horrible job in this ball game as far as making in-game adjustments, and they give up a big play on second down. Now Texas A&M has a short third down conversion, and just saw the stat. Texas A&M's got 4 sacks in this ball game. Alabama has none. This is the kind of game that could derail Alabama's chances of, of playing for a national championship. Okay, looks like Alabama is going to get off the field here. Big third down stop there. Was not able to get home on the blitz, though. Was not able to get home. I mean, they sent a blitz. Calzada did a great job stepping out of it. Wasn't able to run for the first down. This punt return, and I think that is JoJo Earl back there returning the punt. I do not try to go after the punt. I play for the punt return. Alabama blocks the punt. Touchdown. Touchdown, Alabama. Block punt. Oh boy. You talk about a game-changing play. If there was a play that needed to be made for Alabama, that was it. Shades of Antonio Langham coming up the middle, blocking that inbounds and score. Oh wow, that was just a jailbreak. Great job by the got in the end zone recovering, but made sure he took his time and made sure that he was in bounds. Guys, we got a ball game now. Yeah, they're going to review it to make sure that he was in bounds, but he absolutely was in bounds. Okay, so LSU just scored. So that new score now is 35 to 35-14. Ball game is definitely on. Ball game is definitely on. Alabama is definitely back in this contest. Yeah, he's in, knees down. Yeah, that's a touchdown. And kind of like the NFL, these reviews just take too long. You got to start just sending them to Birmingham. Let them make the call. The referee doesn't need to walk over there with the headset. You tell him what the call is, and he announces it. New score: Alabama 17, Texas A&M 24. Halfway to go in the third quarter. Need to come back to that one in case Alabama comes back and wins this contest. Yeah, I was looking at that. That's typically how they teach you to where um, you go at the release point where you're blocking it. Now, usually you don't see it where it's straight on like that, but fantastic job there by the Alabama special team because they absolutely needed that. Absolutely needed that. I don't know the way this offense was going. Could you truly count on them scoring um, two touchdowns? So to get one that quickly by special teams, definitely needed that. Mm. Big special team play. Texas A&M returns it back for a kickoff. That's the ball game. That's your ball game. You get a big time play by your special teams only to give up the very next play. "96-yard kick return." Gotta say it. This is a game Alabama deserves to lose. Absolutely deserves to lose. And if Alabama doesn't go on to win the SEC championship, cannot and cannot say that they should make the college football playoffs. This is an absolutely embarrassing performance. And it starts with Nick Saban. Now, I know what the Alabama fans are going to say, that this is all on Pete Golding. No, this is all on Nick Saban. You're the head coach. You get paid the kind of money that you get paid to make sure that this doesn't happen. If Alabama loses this game, Nick Saban has to take a long look in the mirror and know that he might have just wasted a national championship team. But they're refusing to put their best 5 offensive linemen on the field. It's a failure at the coaching position. I don't care if JT Latham doesn't get the blitz pickup. He is physically better than Chris Owens. And the fact that Chris Owens is still playing the tackle spot is either blatant incompetence or just flat out being stubborn. So Alabama's got a lot of questions to ask and answer, and I know we're still halfway through the third quarter, so there is still time. But as they say, man, it's getting late early. It is getting late early. Yeah, just got a couple of and it starts with their defense. Now, their defense isn't responsible for those 7 points, but their defense has to get a stop, and their offense has got to get going. Alabama's got to answer with a touchdown right now. So it's going to be interesting to see these last 23 minutes left to go in this ball game to see if Alabama has any answers and may have to force this game into overtime. So yeah, Alabama's definitely got to find a gear, and they got to go ahead and find it quick. Because if not, they could see their national championship hopes completely down the drain. Flipping back over to the Kentucky game. LSU just picked up a first down. We're halfway to go in the fourth quarter here. And Coach O just watched his best player go down, and he doesn't have a care in the world. You literally just watch your star wide receiver go down, grabbing his ankle, and you're not even walking over to check on him. Now he walks. No respect for Ed Orgeron, man. None. And he was in bounds, made the catch. If anybody's looking at the over under, this drive is going to be very significant for that. And what does Alabama do? They're third and 26. How do you lose 16 yards on a pass? You know what? Man, this Alabama team is absolutely playing like hot, bloody garbage right now. All right, so Alabama's moving the ball. They're down. I don't know why. Okay, bad delays here. All right, so Alabama's got the ball at the Texas A&M 32-yard line. Got to answer here, and they just did. Jamison Williams with the touchdown. Bryce Young with a dime. Bryce Young with an absolute dime. Yeah, Jed, I just saw that score pop up. Six plays, 75 yards, 2.5 minutes on that scoring drive for Alabama. You talk about a gotta have it drive. That was the textbook definition of a gotta have it drive. All right, so fourth and goal. I'm sorry, 4th and 2 at the Kentucky 14 for LSU, and they pick it up. So this is 4 down territory for LSU. They're not going to kick the field goal. Now they just picked up the first down, but we got about 6 minutes left to go in this ball game. LSU trying to put up a meaningless touchdown here. Out of bounds. All right. Run down to about the 5 yard line. Well, inside the 5 yard line for LSU. Third and about 3. Let's see if Kentucky can stop them here. And I just put that game over. So that's going to be a loser for us here at crunch time, and a big loser. Alabama just gets a holding penalty on defense. Jet, don't be surprised. I think they're going to wait to pull the trigger. I think they're going to wait to pull the trigger, but they did just get Texas A&M for a holding. So this is going to put Texas A&M second and about 16, and they're going to back them back up inside of their 30-yard line. All right, so big defensive sequence here for the University of Alabama. Overthrow there on second down. So it's 3rd and 16. Alabama's got to get off the field here. I mean, if there's any hopes of winning this contest right now, Alabama's absolutely got to get off the field. And they just flashed up Bryce Young's number, 16 for 27, 223 yards, 2 touchdowns total, 1 INT. Like I said, I think Zach Calzada's played out of his mind tonight. 3rd down and 16. You want to just pick up some chunks here. Ooh, risky pass there. Okay, so Texas A&M is punting. And considering they've already had one punt blocked, if you're Alabama, you don't go after the punt here. Absolutely do not go after the punt because you don't want to pick up a roughing the punter penalty and give Texas A&M a first down. Play for the punt return and get some field position here. False start on a punt. They were getting ready to do that Australian kick and got a false start. You kind of get the feeling that this game is slipping away from Texas A&M now. Kind of got that feeling. And that's exactly what Alabama did. They played for the punt return. This ball is going to go out of bounds somewhere around the 40-yard line. Let's see where. That was a horrible punt. Where's he going to mark this out? And ladies and gentlemen, I got you for about another 20 more minutes. Want to thank you all for watching again tonight. This is once again an absolute pleasure to be on with you each and every weekend. Always want to thank you for taking the time out to watch this streaming show here, Talking SEC on Mark Rogers TV. Brian Robinson with a nice 6-yard gain there. And you can kind of sense the momentum has absolutely flipped now in this ball game. And you think if Alabama gets a score right here, that the wheels could absolutely fall off. This Alabama offensive line has got a lot of work to do. If they're able to get past this contest, yeah, I was just thinking that. If Alabama puts up a touchdown right here on this drive, you got to think that the Texas A&M team is got to be scratching their heads like, what in the world do we have to do? Oh, nice play design there. Mechie picks up the first down. Alabama's on the move inside the Texas A&M 40-yard line. We absolutely got a ball game now. And you talk about a Heisman moment. I think this could be Bryce Young's Heisman moment. I know it's early, but he's going to need to be the driving force for Alabama to win this ball game. Another strong run there by Brian Robinson. You can see they're going to lean on their talented running back. But Bryce Young is up to almost 250 yards passing. You got to think he's got to get well over 350 in this contest. And now he's dealing. Guys, Bryce Young is dealing now. You can see it. The way he just fired that quick little out route. Yeah. Yeah, he's dealing now. Alabama inside the red zone. A touchdown here, and man, you can start opening up some floodgates here. We got a false start there on Alabama. And Jet, they were trying to run that little counter that you mentioned a few minutes ago. They were going to run a little counter with Brian Robinson coming instead of a draw. He was going to cut back to the right side. So they were setting up something there. They pick up most of that 5 yards back past the Bowden. He picks up 3 yards, so it's 2nd and 12. Guys, we're getting ready to go to the fourth quarter here. Second largest game in Kyle Field history. Let's see if Alabama. I think Alabama will have to snap the ball one more time here. So empty set. Ooh, I don't like this empty set with this Alabama line playing the way it's playing. So Bryce has to get rid of the ball quickly here. Went for Mechie, overthrew it. Robertson is a fifth-year senior, and no, he does not remind me of Derrick Henry, not one bit. Derrick Henry was a unicorn. I will tell you the Alabama running back that Brian Robinson does remind me of, TJ Yeldon. He runs with that little patient, kind of like Le'Veon Bell, if you will. But no, there is only one Derrick Henry, man. I know Brian Robinson Jr. would think that's a huge compliment, but no, he ain't got that kind of pop behind his pads. And there are very few running backs in the history of this game that have that kind of pop that Derrick Henry does. But no, if there's an Alabama running back that I would compare Brian Robinson to, it would be TJ Yeldon. Real patient runner. Doesn't have great speed. I think Yeldon was a more natural pass catcher coming out of the backfield. But Robinson isn't bad. But oh God, no, he ain't in Derrick Henry's stratosphere. The only thing that they have in common back is they played running back at the University of Alabama. Other than that, that's pretty much where the comparison ends and begins. Guys, I got you for another 12 minutes. So real quick, let me go through the earlier games in the SEC, and I'll be signing off, and I will be tuned into this game just like every other fan is right now. So earlier in the afternoon, Missouri gets a win over North Texas, 48-35. This team is still horrible on the defensive side of the ball, but Tyler Beatty with a career high 217 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. Guys, you want to know how bad this Missouri defense is? The North Texas quarterback threw for 305 yards and 4 touchdowns. Missouri's got a long way to go and a short time to get there. Georgia, 34, Auburn, 10. Stetson Bennett, once again, fantastic performance out of that quarterback. 14 for 21, 231 yards, 2 passing touchdowns. Really solid job by Zamir White, but nothing spectacular. 18 carries, 79 yards, 2 touchdowns. Florida beat Vanderbilt 42-0. No comments on that. Tennessee 45-20. Tennessee goes to 2-1 in the SEC, 4-2 overall. Tennessee could absolutely make a bowl game in Josh Heupel's first year, and if it wasn't for Mark Stoops, Josh Heupel would probably be my SEC Coach of the Year. Hendon Hooker 17 for 23, 225 yards, 3 passing touchdowns. in a game that absolutely had no defense whatsoever except for the final play of the ball game. Ole Miss 52, Arkansas 51. Arkansas goes for it on a 2-point conversion at the end of the game. I thought it was a stupid call, but considering that these two teams combined in the fourth quarter for 6 touchdowns, 41 points, Sam Pittman just wanted that game over with, and he didn't care if he won or lost. Kentucky's about to finish off LSU. That score right now is 42-21. We got about 3 minutes left to go. 3rd and 13 for Alabama. And they come up a little bit short. Looks like it's going to be about 4th and 2. Alabama's absolutely got to go for it here. And I know it's just the start of the fourth quarter, but you're sending a message right now to your team. And going for it absolutely is the right call. Wait a minute. Okay, they're going to kick the field goal. I stand corrected, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to kick the field goal. Will Reichert is coming on to kick for him a very chip shot. So making this would bring the score 31-20. He does make it. New score, guys. With 14:09 left to go. Alabama 27, Texas A&M 31. So we're going to see if Alabama is able to pull out this victory from the jaws of defeat. And we got about another 2 minutes left to go, 2.5 minutes left to go as you're absolutely right. I think you're 100% correct. I think Alabama just wanted to make sure that they got out of that drive with some points. And Jet, I know you put this in the chat here, but I'll go ahead and just say it for you. Michigan just took the lead. 8 minutes left to go. Michigan is up 26-22. Just wanted to pass that score on to you since you asked. Kentucky will go and join Kentucky at 6-0. We'll see if Alabama is able to remain undefeated. Still plenty of time left to go in this contest, and Jet, we have a development. Nebraska just went in for the go-ahead lead, 28-26. My goodness, Utah is absolutely roasting USC. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm just scrolling through scores here. Virginia Tech is up on Notre Dame. That could have a huge implication in the playoffs for Cincinnati as as Notre Dame continues to free fall. If I can get my words to flow here. It's been a long day for us here at the Crunch Time Sports Advantage Network. Had lots of interviews for a lot of different outlets, and always honored to do so. But my voice is almost shot. So hopefully I can finish out the last 6 minutes here with you guys, and that's going to be the ball game. Will Levis goes around the end, picks up a huge first down. Kentucky can take a couple of knees and get out of here. Going 6-0, 4-0 in the SEC. Man, when was the last time you said that? All right, stay classy, LSU. Stay classy. Okay. He's gonna get a run for his money with Josh Heupel. Gonna get his run for his money with Josh Heupel. Because I got to tell you, now I did not expect Kentucky to be 6-0 at this point, but the fact that that Tennessee is 4-2 is a major shock. Is a major shock. So, got to give Josh Heupel and his staff and those players there at Tennessee a lot of credit. A lot of credit. I mean, that fan base should absolutely be going bonkers um, for this team. And we have a final score: Kentucky 42, LSU 21. The countdown to Ed Orgeron being gone has already begun, and we'll wait to see who becomes the new head coach at both Southern Cal and LSU. Going to be interesting to track that. All right, so Texas A&M, second and 10. Want to see where this ball is at the 40-yard line. So Alabama's, once again, got to get off the field. Can't give up any points here. Sending the blitz and cannot get home. And he just missed it. Oh, my. I understand why he overthrew it, but if he hits this pass, this game is over. But Alabama is not able to get home right now, even with the blitz. They're not taking proper rush angles, and they nearly gave up a home run over the top. It is third and 10. And Alabama forces a punt. Guys, Jet, you said it earlier that center the upset is starting to wane a little bit. It should be waning a whole lot right now. We got something. Big punt return by JoJo Earl all the way out to the Alabama 30-yard line. Received that punt right around the 10-yard line. So Alabama is on the move, guys. Hey, guys, I just got an update, and I want to give this real quick. Kayshon Boutte, star wide receiver for LSU, was injured on a sideline play late in the fourth quarter. Guys, he was carted to the locker room. He could not even put weight on his leg. So the last thing that LSU needed was for this kid to get hurt. I mean, one of the best wide receivers in all of college football. But when he went down, the way that he grabbed his ankle, it did not look good. And I'm trying to see if there's any more updates real quick. had to be carted off the field with a lower leg injury. I saw him grabbing at his ankle. Um, man, you hope for this kid's sake it's not an Achilles injury and it's just a really bad sprain. Jet, you said it looked like a break. Um, I couldn't really tell because I didn't see the full angle of it when I was tuning back in the feed. He was grabbing at his lower leg. But if you're thinking it's a break, man, for that kid's sake, I hope it's not an Achilles injury because that kid is special. I mean, man, this game of football is unforgiving, and you just hope for that kid's sake that it is. You hope it's just a bad sprain. Guys, I want to just say real quick before I sign off, on behalf of my team, Summer, Brittany, Billy, Kenneth, want to thank Mark Rogers once again each week for allowing me to host this show here on Mark Rogers TV on the Voice of College Football SEC. And we're talking the SEC wrap-up show here. Alabama is absolutely on the move as they are already up to their 40-yard line here. Also want to thank everyone from the chat that tuned in. Jet, usually here with us every weekend. Chico, thank you. Lucas, Memphis Rebel, all of you guys. And for everybody that was watching, Larry as well from earlier. Just want to say thank you once again for tuning in. It's my honor and privilege to do this show and really enjoy spending my Friday nights with you. Thank you, Jeff, for that. Spending my Saturday nights with you. No place I would rather be than here with you guys, giving you live updates on all the SEC action that's going on and just some thoughts from earlier on in the day. So get ready for next week. We're going to have some really interesting contests. See if I can pull that up real quickly here. And please check out our podcast at the Crunch Time Sports Advantage Network. Our game of the week, I can go ahead and give you the look ahead. It will be 6-0 Kentucky going down to Athens to take on 6-0 Georgia. This will be for the SEC East Division Championship. Other key matchups in the SEC really quickly. Auburn versus Arkansas, Florida at LSU, Texas A&M at Missouri, Vanderbilt at South Carolina, Alabama going down to Starkville to take on Mississippi State, and Lane Kiffin makes his long-awaited return back to Rocky Top as Ole Miss travels up to Neyland Stadium. Guys, on behalf of everyone here at Mark Rogers TV Talking SEC, my team over at the Crunch Time Sports Advantage Network, this is Kenneth signing off. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your night.